Thanks so much for joining me. I've been waiting for this talk for a while.
Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah. I'm really happy to be talking today about CityHub. Such a cool brand doing sustainable traveling. You have these really awesome pods that I want to hear all about. And also about you as head of expansion at CityHub.
So first, thanks for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here and happy to share more about CityHub. As you may have seen, so CityHub is a very out of the box, I would say, or innovative hotel concept that was created in the Netherlands in 2015 with the aim to fill the gap between hostel and hotel, I would say. It was since beginning centered around the guest experience and with the idea to offer at the same time more privacy and comfort like in a hotel and to keep the sense of community and affordability you would find in a hostel.
Everyone listening should definitely also check out the website, because when you see the structure of your pods or your capsules, you understand really how like compact yet super cool your the hospitality experience that you're providing is.
Actually, you're right. The concept is very very different. The brand promise was to offer this nice stay at an affordable price in city center locations across Europe. We all know, I mean, for people working in real estate, that city center in large cities means expensive square meters. And if you want to be affordable, you have kind of a challenge. And so at CityHub, we had two main innovations. First one was the hub, which is the most visible part, I would say, of the concept. So basically, we have some capsules or pods. We call them hubs. That we design and are specifically made for CityHub. They are very space efficient. So the footprint of these two pods on top of each other is 8 square meters, which is very space efficient. The gross area per key. So if you take the total space of the hotel divided by the number of keys, we are around 15 square meters. Just to give you an idea, a traditional hotel, like economy hotel, so which is already efficient, like an Ibis, for instance, would be around 35 square meter per key. So it means that we are double more efficient, if I can say, or we can place double number of units in the same space. And to be that efficient, what we did actually is that we got the room concept back to the essential, which is the bed or the bed functions, I would say. And we remove all the rest, so the bathrooms, the desks, the sitting area, and we put it in the shared public spaces with the idea that by mutualizing, we can offer a better quality, a better design, and a better experience. And so you have these small but very nice sleeping units, the hubs, and you have like these public spaces that are designed with a real intention to create like a great experience. So if I take the example of Copenhagen, for instance, we have like this big bathroom, we have these big shower cubicles that are very deep. You have rain showers, you have kimonos in the hubs to go to the bathrooms, and you even have, for instance, a saunas in the bathrooms, which is not a level of product or services you would expect from a hostel or even an economy hotel. And we often say that we really focus on this kind of experience, obviously, but wellness and the bathroom for us is really like a major point of attention. When for some other competitors that would rather be on the bar and the F&B part, for us it's more the bathroom in the end. And with this idea to create a spaces that are a bit more like an upscale gym or even a spa. I mean, they are shared and they remain shared bathrooms, but with a much better or higher quality and better experience. The first innovation, I'd say, I was saying we had two innovations. The other innovation is all about technology. So in the hotel, everything is supported by tech, kind of shy tech, so you don't feel like you are with robots. But most of the things are automated, and actually we use technology to actually put the human back at the center of the experience. And so we try to remove all these administrative, low added value tasks from our employees, so they can really focus 100% of their time on the guest, and so the guest experience. So if you have any question, want to have a chat or want anything in the hotel, you can find the CTOs. They are always available because they don't have any other things to do. And their job is much more like a guest relation manager than a receptionist or barman, for instance, which is a level of services you would normally find only in 4 or 5 star hotels, which again is not something you would find or expect from that economy or hostel type of hotels.
Yeah, it's amazing because you created this hybrid between luxury and high-end hotels to hostels, affordable, cool, and young places to be.
Yeah, I think it's really designed and catered for like millennials and Gen Z. I mean, obviously everybody is very welcome, but like these generations, they are very tech savvy. They are very, I mean, they grew up with technology, and they really want or really like when everything goes fast. And so at CityHub, we have this indeed like check-in kiosk. You do your check-in yourself. It's super fast, super seamless, very efficient. At the end of the check-in, you activate a wristband. They are super nicely designed, by the way. They look like a bit like like the wristband you get in a festival. You activate the wristband. In the wristband, there is a RFID chip, so the same technology as a contactless payment for the credit card, and that becomes the key for everything in the hotel. So if you want anything in the hotel, you just scan your wristband, then you can serve yourself. So there is it creates a very informal space also in the hotel, that there is no barrier between the employees and the guests. They are very free and empowered to do whatever they want, I mean, obviously in the limit of what they can do, but you really feel like you really have this homey feeling, I would say, and truly because you can really help yourself do whatever you want. And at the same time, it also for us means that we need less people to operate the hotel. So in terms, I mean, with this aim to be affordable, it's also quite important to be able to manage your costs. But it's not dehumanizing the hotel. Actually, that's really the opposite. And like I said, the idea was to put back the human at the center. And so the city hosts are actually, their hands are always free to take care of the guests. And they would be, like this guest relation manager. You can have a chat with them at the hotel, but also through the app. And you also really create this community between the travelers and the employees. And that really works that's the thing that really works well also at CityHub.
I love it that you have this really structured vision and mission that you're on, and you're talking about it in such a passionate way. Like you can tell that you really think it's so cool, which sounds like. And I'm wondering about your specific position as head of expansion for CityHub. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing? What's your plans for expansion? And then from there, we can maybe talk a little bit about Rayon and how it helps you in your position.
So at CityHub, we have 3 hotels at the moment. So 2 in the Netherlands, 1 in Copenhagen. We have 2 more properties in the pipeline. We're going to open in Reykjavik next summer. We also have Hamburg in the pipeline for an opening in 2025. And we're really looking to expand further in Europe. In general, we target mostly the big international cities, but also major regional cities, I would say. So I think in Europe, we have something like 30 target cities. We're also a very young company, so we're still a startup. We have not that many people at the headquarters. We have big ambitions, and for us, I think Rayon is very useful in the sense that we can. I mean, it's super easy to use, and we can do like very professional feasibility studies in very easily, and that helps us also when we speak with developers, with property investors, with all our contacts in the development world, to come with plans and to show like a very professional plans that really helps to sell the product, sell the idea of doing a CDM, to look very professional when you're in startup and you don't have like unlimited resources. That really helps also to create like this trust and create a strong relationship with the partners. So I would say we're very happy, and actually the team managed to use or learn to use the tools very easily, very quickly, and I'm really impressed actually by the quality of work we can produce. And it really changed. I think it was really a game changer. I can say game changer. Really changed like our approach to plans. Before that, we were working with architects, and to do a feasibility for a project, we would wait for a project to be a bit more advanced, to be a bit more some sort of commitment, at least to exchange like an indicative offer with the other party, that they show interest, like you're in a ballpark position. We were doing our first feasibility, I would say, like an estimate for the number of units on big ratios. So it was more approximative, I would say. And so because we would work with architects, we would wait a bit longer to be a bit further down in the project to do a preliminary feasibility. But with Rayon, actually, we can start it much earlier. It helps to be also more precise in our feasibility. So instead of assuming we were going to be, I don't know, around 100 keys, we can say like precisely it's going to be 97, 98 or less or more. But it also, like I said, really helped in the relationship with the partners to come up with something that is already designed. I mean, obviously we are not architects, so it's subject to further feasibility studies, to work with actual architects. But it just give at least I would say like a sense of how committed or how serious we are about the projects. We're not just like dropping numbers like that, and it really helps, like I said, create this trust and reinforce the relationship, but also like the likelihood or feasibility of the project, just basically.
Well, that's amazing. You've mentioned so many of, the value proposition that we're trying to give at Rayon. So I'm really happy to hear you, say all that. I think, one of our missions is to democratize space design and working with floor plans. Today, for people that are not architects or designers, it's really hard to extract information from floor plans. So it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing. You're saying that the team learned it independently and easily. It enabled you to communicate with other stakeholders and to get information faster. So that's like 3 key things.
And I think we're probably using just like 10% of the capacity of Rayon, and we still have a lot of things to learn. But yeah, I mean, it's just so easy. And once we have defined like the design of the hubs, we can just like reproduce them like super easily. They are directly at scale on the plans. Actually, that was the biggest constraint if you do plans. Obviously, without a tool like that, is usually you're not exactly at scale, so you're doing like very big estimates, and it doesn't really work. I mean, in the end, it's very far. I mean, it can be very far from the final result. I think it's what we do is still like not the final result, and that's always what we say. It's just like a preliminary feasibility study to define and to better estimate the number of units. But it really helps. I really see the difference in the relationship with the partners when you come with these preliminary plans and when you come without.
Yeah, and also with a preliminary plan that is rather accurate. Like, okay, not the final version maybe, but you're not so far from final result. Do you remember which tools you would use before for floor plans?
It's pretty shameful. So I think we were not really using floor tool or either we would work with architects or we would ask them to work with their architects. But when we are at this very early stage of a project, asking already for the other party to work on the plans might be a bit early, especially when it's like the first project you're looking at together and you don't really know each other. Coming with that is really a game changer. I think once we had like something that was already at scale and we could work on like with the tools of the Microsoft or things like that, but it was really, really imprecise, I would say.
Yeah.
So we were not really using any tools or any app for feasibility before that. We would really externalize it.
Got it. So yeah, that's another point we're trying to provide, right? More autonomous way to work with floor plans, working faster thanks to that. Just to make it clear, so who on your team, you mentioned you're a startup and you're small, who on the team is working with Rayon?
So it's all the expansion team, so the 3 of us.
Awesome.
And we use it as we have a company,
organization.
How to call it, a space, workspace, organization, where we all work together. So I can review the plans actually of the other team members. We can, when we have a call and we're not together, we just put Rayon on the screen. I mean, we both go on our Rayon on our side, and we can really discuss the plans. Like we see each other on the plans. Actually, it's very very well done for that. And nowadays, very often, and you work from home or you're working like remotely. And actually, when you want to review a plans, it's really easy, and you can work at the same time in the plans. I would move that. I would not put it like that. I think in this area we should change and do like something different. You can really like show, and it's really you are at the same time in the same plan. So for that, it's super nice. Very easy to use also.
Cool.
Like you can use it even if you're not from design or architectural background.
Awesome. That's truly amazing to hear. I want to ask you, are you using the libraries? Like because you have this specific hub that's very unique, in Rayon, you can make a block out of it and then drag and drop it and use it across different models. Did you discover that yet?
Yeah, I mean, we use it all the time.
You do.
We have our block now for the hubs, and we just like a copy paste, or I don't know how you call it, but we just like drop the new block on the new hubs in the plan. They directly and automatically on scale, so that for that it's perfect. And you can really also like orient them like in all directions. It's super precise. And also, I mean, we use, like I say, probably like 10% of the capacity of Rayon, but it already looks so amazing compared to what we were doing before. I mean, at our stage and not being designers or architects, we don't put FF&E or things in the plans, but we can already like really design, and we have like different colors for different areas. We're not putting too much. Again, we are very at a preliminary stage, and we don't want to overdo or that it looks too much in a way, but it's really perfect, and you can already calculate all the things. It's also much faster. We don't have to wait for weeks. Like you send the plans to the architect, then you set up the call to explain like how is the project. So usually for a feasibility, we take like several weeks, and it could be just like I mean, you manage your own priorities, so you can do it whenever you want. But if you want, it could be like the same day.
Yeah. I'm so happy that you're, getting all this value from my end. I love having these talks with users and hearing that it's actually helpful. Yeah, really. So maybe like before we wrap it up, anything else fun you want to tell us about CityHub? You've already said that, your expansion goals for the upcoming year or two, which is really cool. Are you going to develop different types of hubs? Do you have any, other dreamy aspirations we should know of?
Actually, we're looking at keep the hubs because it's very efficient. It provides a great experience. But I think actually they are not they are very important, but they are not. And I think the way we see it now is a bit further than that. It's our expertise. It's not designing the hubs or using the hubs, but it's a bit more than that. It's to design small but high quality and nice experience spaces. And I think we will not move to something that is radically different, like having like these huge suites or doing apartments or things like that. But maybe to open a bit more and to have small rooms or tiny rooms. And like I say, we're not going to start doing like a 25 square meters apartment or even though that would be maybe a bit small for an apartment, but it's not our DNA, and it's also not for our targets. We want to remain something that is affordable, accessible for younger travelers to actually make the city accessible for this younger generation of travelers. And for that, we're thinking also like just as an extension, going to this small room, but it would be like a small private room that is, I don't know, 12 square meters with a bathroom, which is very small compared to other hotel concept. For us, actually, it's quite big, but it kind of makes sense in a way to be able to diversify like that. Also, sometimes we have buildings that don't work for the hubs. We have actually our main constraint is the ceiling height. And sometimes we don't have sufficient ceiling height, but it's still like a very nice location. It could be a great building for a concept like ours. And I think we want also to have a bit more flexibility in our development.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So I'm realizing through what you just said, it's not about the hub as a unit. It's more like a means to get to the bigger idea, which is making traveling sustainable, affordable, and like it says, on your website, redefining the hotel room and the hotel experience. So that makes complete sense.
Yeah. I mean, at very low cost or very affordable, make it very affordable for everyone is actually something that is amazing. And that before we were always focusing on the hubs because it's super visible. And when you think of CityHub, you would think of the hubs. But I think the experience and having also these kind of luxury shared spaces, it's something that is actually even more important than having just like the pods.
Right, completely.
Even though the pods are working very well and we love them.
Yeah. That's so cool. Well, I can't wait to come stay at CityHub sometime soon. I want to thank you so much again for chatting. This has been really fun, and I love learning more about your vision and hearing how Rayon is resonating with you. So thank you so much, Marshall.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for the opportunity, and hope to welcome you in Amsterdam or one of the other hotels.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
Thanks
Bye.
a lot. Bye-bye.